Another week has gone by, which means that it is time for the first reading update of 2026. I finished The Poet Empress by Shen Tao, which is the last book I read in 2025. And man, did I go out with a bang. This book was insane. This did a really good job of building momentum constantly as we kept moving further and further through the plot. And this is one of the best examples I've ever read when it comes to having a really big cast of characters, and yet everyone gets their time to shine. This was chocked full of character development. It's one of my favorite aspects of reading books. I love to see where they come from and where they eventually go as the story continues. And this ending really just solidified how great this book was. It really makes up for the lackluster beginning. I also started off 2026 with a bang. I read The Long Game by Rachel Reed. And this is everything I could have ever wanted from a romance sequel. This book was crazy because the subject matter was really dark and serious, and yet Shane and Ilya were having some of the kinkiest sex I've ever read. My one critique of this book is that it felt imbalanced. We had a really good plot and character development surrounding Ilya, but because of that, it felt like we left Shane in the shadows. But overall, I really loved this one. Heated Rivalry and The Long Game are so amazing, everyone should read them. I then read The Favorites by Lane Fargo, and this was incredible. It was exquisite. I'm not gonna lie, this book was literally made for me. I love figure skating. I watch it all the time on TV. So when an author is like, I'm gonna write this toxic book about an ice dance couple as they try to get to the Olympics, I'm gonna pick it up. And it was so good from start to finish. Even if you don't really know much about figure skating or ice dance, you're gonna still really like this book because it has a really good plot. It was super messy and dramatic and addictive. I highly recommend it. And finally, I started Queen of Faces by Petra Land. I'm listening to this on audiobook, and I'm not that far. I think I'm around 16%, but I am having a very fun time. The beginning was so interesting to me, and it really sucked me into the narrative. We have this pseudo dystopian fantasy sci fi world where people are constantly buying new bodies to be put into, whether that's because you're terminally ill or you're rich and you just want a new model. Either way, I find this plot super fascinating, and I'm so excited to see how it continues moving forward.